Hi, I'm Teresa, and welcome to my channel. Have you ever felt like selling it all, starting over, or just doing things differently? Well, 11 months ago, I did just that. Since then, I've spent 4 months in Southeast Asia, made my way back to Canada. I'm now in the USA, and will be heading back to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, my home, to reset and regroup and head out again. So I'm here in Florida, beautiful Spring Hill, Florida, to be exact. I thought I'd bring you out for a walk with me because this is what I do every day, and I figured it's a good way to introduce myself. So 9 months ago, April 2024, I sold everything. I mean everything. I moved what was ever remaining, few items that fit into 2 totes, 1 briefcase, and a suitcase package, but there was nothing in any of the suitcases. They were ready to take me on a journey. When I got there, the only thing that was on my mind was to do research. I needed to know where I wanted to go, what I think I wanted to do, and really plan where I wanted to go to first. So a bit of backstory. I have 3 grown children and have been a single parent for 30 plus years and a single person for at least 25 of that 30 plus years. In April of 2022, I was diagnosed with cancer for the 3rd time. Yes, I had to have the chemotherapy, I had the surgeries, targeted therapy, you name it. I feel like I've had it. Over the years, the children have heard from me more than once say, I want to sell it all. I wish I could sell it all. I'm going to travel around the world. You'll see one day. Well, I guess after the biggest part of the battle was done and I was into the recuperation stage, that's when my children came to me and said, no more of the one-day story, Mom. It's time for you to sell everything. It's time for you to do what you've always dreamed of and to go. So from April to June, all I did was research. Where do I want to go? What am I going to need to get there? And when I get there, and probably most important, what's the budget? A little more backstory. When I say single, I mean single. I have been on my own as well as a self-employed individual since around 2004. I always thought, or maybe in my mind figured, that one day I'd meet somebody and that person would want to travel just as much as I did, and we would set out on an adventure together. Well, time and experience has, I guess, shown me that I had to do it on my own. So I didn't think it was going to be that easy to make all this change. I'd been a business coach and a mentor for a long time, 20 plus years. And I watched the frustrations of a lot of my clients as they went through things, and I was their support. Here, as I kept going through my due diligence and trying to figure out where it was I was going and narrowing down what would work for me, I realized that I was going to have to probably use every step I had used with my clients and for myself when I'm making changes within business. So now here I am living this minimalist life with no real plan. Gonna head out and travel and see what I can see. And really trying to evolve slowly but surely to be one of these people that can be kinder to myself. I've spent many years advising others of that. Do for yourself what you do for others. I think all the mottos, the outward mottos in life, are turning inward. It probably took about 2 months before I even noticed that I wasn't thinking the daily things that we think. First and foremost, my children weren't the first thing that popped into my head every day. As much as that sounds like an awful thing, it was quite a relief. being a single parent for many, many years and having no real support. Don't get me wrong. My family was there in the early days and that, but you grow, you do things differently. And their dad, not a good one. So we were tight. We were very tight. And that was a wonderful thing, but it could also be a detriment, especially when the time comes to grow up a little bit and go out on your own. And wow, isn't it interesting when it's mom that needs to grow up a little bit and get out on her own. I remember sitting for a bus going to Wat Hinh, Thailand, and it was at that moment, that day, that my brain, my head, my thoughts were clear. It was blank. It was quiet. It was peaceful. I'd never really experienced that just out of the blue in my life on a day. I'm not without meditative practices. I'm quite a spiritual person. Having been sick more than one time, you really end up being able to turn inward and pull from resources you weren't even aware that they were there. But to just have to sit quietly amongst people moving around you or life being around you and sensing just how quiet you are inside. I wanted more of that. That's a gift. That's what I wanted. Was it a good thing heading out there on my own with no real plan? Yeah, for me, it was a great thing. I couldn't imagine how I would feel at this time. I am so looking forward to my next adventures and looking forward to share them with you. I thank you so much for watching. Take care and talk soon.